afternoon. It's 1:30 and it's Friday the 13th of April, and I've been dodging the showers. We've got blue skies here, but over here we've got rain, and I just got a wee bit wet on the motorbike. I'm on the Ormo Road and I'm opposite Newton Breda Church, which actually shouldn't be sitting down here. It should be sitting up in Newton Breda Village, but never mind. I'm at St John's Avenue. It's a quiet wee sort of circular, half-circle avenue tucked away in off the Ormo Road here before you come to the roundabout. But there's something quite interesting along this road, and that house at the end there is significant. And that house was the birthplace and early home of a guy called William MacQuitty. William MacQuitty was the producer. He was into his films. He was the producer of the very famous Titanic sinking film, A Night to Remember, and it was made in 1958. And I have my friend Chris from Bampton, Bridlington, Yorkshire, who put me onto this. A Night to Remember is judged to be the finest Titanic tribute film ever made, and there's been 13 or 14 of these films made, but A Night to Remember takes the biscuit. It's the most authentic. Anyway, what can I tell you about William MacQuitty? This man was just a remarkable character. He was a writer, he was a film producer, he was a traveller, he was a documentarian, he had been in the bank, he travelled extensively in Asia, Southeast Asia in particular, and it's just a remarkable character. So he deserves to be in my series, Gone But Not Forgotten. He's just amazing character. So the Night to Remember was based on the book by Walter Lord, the same name, A Night to Remember, and tells the sad story of the Titanic going down, obviously. This man, William MacQuitty, didn't start off as in a career of a film producer. He worked in the bank, and he worked in a bank associated with the Far East, the bank of what was it, Malaya or Australia or somewhere or other over there. He had been schooled in Rockport and Campbell College, and his father was the managing director of the Belfast Telegraph. 1926 found him in India, and he had joined as well as being a banker, he had joined the auxiliary Punjab Light Horse. So that was his starting off point, and he was a founding member of the Lahore Flying Club. Remarkable in itself. And his various bank postings took him to places like Ceylon and Siam, Malaya, China. By 1939 he was back home in Northern Ireland. He began training for a medical course, but he dropped out of that because he got himself into making amateur films, and this was noticed. So he was picked up really by those in film and saying, you know, you should actually keep going at this, and he did. See, he produced war effort films, or films to be associated with the war. He produced Out of Chaos, and this was sort of a documentary about the war artists, Henry Moore, Stanley Spencer, Paul Nash, Graham Sutherland. 1946, The Way We Live chronicled the rebuilding of Plymouth that had been heavily bombed. Happy Valley, 1952, Street Corner, 1953, The Beachcomber, 1954. Above the Waves was produced by MacQuitty in 1954, and it starred John Mills. I mean, these were not Mickey Mouse productions. These were big films of their time. And then, as I say, this Above the Waves film was produced, and it told the story of the disabling of the battleship Tirpitz, the German battleship. And this was a remarkable story. It was done by use of many subs. Above the Waves premiered in Malta, and the premiere was attended by Prince Philip, and the UK premiere was attended by the Queen, Lord Mountbatten, and the film turned out to be Winston Churchill's favourite film. 1958, of course, Night to Remember was filmed, and it starred Kenneth Moore. And MacQuitty was smart because he enlisted the help of various Titanic survivors who acted as advisors, as I say, in the making of the film. Was it authentic? And they helped out on that. And principal one was a guy called Joseph Boxhall, and he had been 4th officer on the Titanic. And this was particularly nice. James Cameron, whenever he was making or had produced the Titanic film, 1997, the famous one, he got in touch with William MacQuitty and said that Night to Remember inspired him to, in his production of that movie, starring Kate Winslet and your other fella that I can't even remember. Anyway, MacQuitty didn't stop there. 1959, he helped found UTV, Ulster Television, and became its first managing director. But William MacQuitty, his contribution doesn't stop there. He tried to preserve the great temple of Abu Simbel in Egypt from the impending Aswan Dam. And he had weird and wonderful ideas as to how to do that. He became a photographer, a noted photographer, producing coffee table books full of photographs of his travels. He had travelled extensively. He travelled through 75 countries in 60 years, and he documented, their culture and all the rest of it via photographs. He was a prolific photographer. So he produced books. He was an author. He was a writer. He was a photographer. He was a film producer, and he was an all-round good guy. And he finally wrote an autobiography, and it's called A Life to Remember, and it was published in 1986, or was it? No, it was published in 1991. He died in 2004, aged 98. So, William MacQuitty, film producer and all-round good guy from Northern Ireland, Belfast, Rosetta, St John's Avenue. You are gone but not forgotten. Now there's a blue plaque put up by the Ulster History Society, and it's over in Bangor on, I think it's Princetown Road, stating that he lived over there, but this was his birthplace. So I'm reclaiming it back from Bangor. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry about the wind. I did try and move out of the wind. Okie doke. See you soon. And this is a photograph of the man himself. And this is the Ulster History Circle blue plaque commemorating William MacQuitty, and this plaque is found in Bangor outside his other main home.